I talked about this a little earlier. I think active listening is the most important skill you can have, whether you're a spy or a salesperson. And to sort of demonstrate that, I want to ask you a question, and I'm going to pause very briefly after I ask it for you to think about. But think about the best listener you've ever experienced in your life. I bet someone's coming to mind, and I bet you have a very high opinion of that person, right? And why is that? Because when we're listened to, we feel respected. We feel seen. We feel understood, right? Those are qualities I think you want your clients to feel about you, right? People buy from those that they like. People remember how you made them feel. You want them to feel all of those things. But guess what? Active listening is really hard, right? The sad aspect of human nature, and this is true of pretty much all of us, except the rare person who's just so gifted as a listener. The sad truth is that we're all kind of waiting for our turn to speak in conversation, right? We listen with an intention to reply, not necessarily an intention to understand. The way our minds work is that we get the gist of what somebody is saying, and then we go back internally and think, oh, I have this interesting anecdote or this witty reply that I'm going to share. But if you're trying to influence somebody and trying to connect with them and get them to feel those things about being respected and understood, you want to pause and put aside your interesting opinion or anecdote. There's plenty of room for being a charming, gregarious raconteur as a salesperson. There are moments for that. But I'm talking about a moment where you want to be a great listener and really connect with that person. So put your thoughts aside, maintain steady body language, maintain good eye contact, but not a creepy level, but good eye contact, and really concentrate on the person that you're talking to. Now, I alluded to the challenges of active listening, and I want to talk about natural impediments that go back to our evolutionary stance. You talk to somebody, I have a behavioral science expert, a couple of them in my book, and one refers to kind of archaic man. When we were on the savannah, just developing language, it was all short, clipped phrases because the archaic man is on the savannah and he says something to another person, but they quickly have to survey the plains in front of them for things they can kill to eat or things that want to kill and eat them. That's how our minds worked, right? And that's evident in how we deal with language today. Our mind works 4 times faster than our ability to speak. So when you're talking to somebody, they know where you're going. They know what you're trying to say before you're finished talking. And you see this in people. You can see they're a little impatient with their body language. They start, kind of betraying that. And they sometimes even finish your sentence for you. But try to maintain your calm level and listen and understand that you have this tendency and just focus on that individual. Ask a clarification question. Encourage them as opposed to sharing your witty anecdote. The other interesting side of behavioral science, this study is a little bit, or this number is a little bit controversial, but some say that 90% of conversation is about body language and tone of voice, and only 10% are the actual words. Again, this is controversial, it varies. It could vary by the person depending on the time of day you're talking with them. But most tend to agree that most of our comprehension comes from body language and tone of voice and not the words. And I'm a big music guy, so I think this analogy really helps me out. That if you think about a song, maybe a pop song, a lot of times you might know just the chorus, maybe you just know a few lyrics, but you understand the message, right? The meaning, the emotional message of the song. And that's what it is in conversation. The words are the lyrics, and the body language and tone of voice are the melody and everything else. So I think if you approach conversation that way and understand these natural impediments, it can improve your ability to be a better active listener.